Hi, Jeff at Tone. Hey, sorry I didn't get a chance to get an episode of Shitty Album Fridays up yesterday, but it's been kind of a crazy week around here. Well, hey, what I do have, um, our special guest star Melinda Murphy joins us again, and we just had a quick little discussion about Miles Davis, Kinda Blue, Bitches Brew. And so, she's a little more in the kind of blue camp. I'm definitely more in the bitches brew camp because that's where my love for prog came from. So, hey, take a listen and thanks for tuning in. Miles Davis. So, Melinda, thanks for coming on back and joining me. So, we were going back and forth about kind of blue versus bitches brew. Now,
That's right.
I'm guessing you're the kind of blue person and I'm the bitches brew person.
Well, I would say I like both. I'm
Okay.
a big fan of both albums, but 6 out of 10 times I would probably grab Kind of Blue.
Okay. No, I mean, you and almost everyone else. I mean, I always knew kind of blue was big, but I kind of was doing a little more research on it and I was surprised. I mean, like everybody calls that the best, most influential jazz record ever made. So,
Yeah, for sure.
which one did you buy first?
Kind of Blue.
Okay.
It took me a long time to really start liking Bitches Brew. It was just too far out there. I would be at work and I would be able to listen to music, and I listened to it multiple times before I was like, okay, kind of like this now. It took me a while. For some reason, I wanted to like that album and I had to work on it to get there. But now I like Bitches Brew, where Kind of Blue didn't really require as much work.
Well, yeah, and I mean, and that was about, I think about 12 or 13 years apart in his career, in his outputs. So, he was getting a lot more experimental by the time Bitches Brew came out. And, kind of back to our earlier conversation about King Crimson, that proggy, noodly, more obtuse kind of music. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me, it was Bitches Brew first because I started. Well, what was the record that got you starting to listen to jazz?
Probably, honestly, Kind of Blue. That was something my husband bought and brought into the house.
Okay,
And he liked. So to have some records that he liked, so we occasionally, of course, played one of his choices, and so that was the intro for jazz for me.
got it. And see,
Hmm.
for me, it was Herbie Hancock Headhunters. Okay,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I mean, back in the '70s, I mean, I was listening to like Ted Nugent, Kiss, all that stuff. And my
Hmm.
neighbor across the street was about 5 years older than me, and he was first year of college when I was a freshman in high school. And he was the program director at the local college station. So he was bringing home all these crazy records all the time. And I mean, I heard Headhunters and I was like, man, that's it. That's it. And so the next record after that was Bitches Brew, and which led to all the King Crimson and all the Prague and Yes and Emerson Lake and Palmer and all of that. I mean, so it was, I guess the more obtuse and obscure, the better. Pam always calls it difficult listening hour.
Yeah, well, that's kind of how I felt about it at first. But I will say that my very favorite, let me grab it. I have a favorite. Sorry about the delay. Uh, in a Silent Way.
Oh
That's my
yeah.
favorite Miles Davis record. So in a way, that's kind of an introduction into Bitches Brew. It has a little bit of that sound, but it's milder. And that's why I really wanted to like Bitches Brew, because I loved In a Silent Way so much that I wanted to go even to the deeper end with that side of Miles Davis.
So
But
did
that's
you
my
end
favorite.
Okay, so did you end up then the record right after, oops, did I lose you? There you are. The record right after Bitches Brew ended up being, no, it was Live at Fillmore, and then it was, oh, did you listen to the other one, Live Evil, maybe about a year later? That's
Yeah, I love that one. Hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of more in that groove too. It's got that the real spacey, the real out there period of Miles. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
And
well,
I like it. It took a while, but I like it. Yeah.
So is that's I'm guessing that's not a record you play for company when they come over for a glass of wine.
It's not Bitches Brew, those kind of records I don't even play for my husband. I think he can listen to In a Silent Way, but
Uh-huh.
that's more of the classic jazz sound, you know.
So he's more of like a bop-y kind of
Yes.
guy.
Definitely. But he
Yeah.
does like jazz, and that was something that really helped me and him when I started getting into vinyl records.
If you look through, I mean, I'm guessing you probably have a fairly good chunk. I mean, there's so many darn Miles Davis records out there now. I mean, you know, it's is there anything else in the Miles catalog that really stands out as a favorite?
I like, I think it's called, what is it? Nefertiti? I'm not
Yes.
pronouncing it
Yeah,
correctly, but
yeah.
I love that one.
Got it. Okay. The guy that did the Live Evil cover was the same guy that did the Santana cover,
Oh, wow. That's
Braxis.
cool.
Yeah, it's the same artist. And you know, I was kind of,
Mhm.
and that I think too, a lot of the times, we kind of track time by the artwork that's on the records, and which is why I think, with the streaming thing, it's hard sometimes too to get excited about that because it's hard to, it's not like flipping through the bins. Well,
Right.
now we won't get into the witch pressing. Well, there is one thing for the people out there that are real pressing hounds with this. I was talking to my pal Tom that's on our masthead, and this guy has got every copy of everything. And he said that there's a Japanese SACD of this
Hmm.
that he said he's usually not a multi-channel guy, but he said the Japanese multi-channel version of both Bitches Brew and Kind of Blue are two of the most amazing things he's ever heard. And he's got the all the you name it, he's got the pressing. And so I was looking out on Discogs, and they're only about $35. So making
That's
me,
pretty reasonable.
yeah, except I got to buy $30,000 worth of amps and back channel speakers to hear one CD. But hey, we're
Yeah, that's
crazy
the drawback.
audiophiles. So
Here is my favorite. This is probably my favorite version now, this new one step that came out. But I
I
have
just
an
got that too.
original. I love it. I think, I mean, they really squeeze that extra, 20%, 10% of sound quality.
Yeah,
Out
it's very
of them.
quiet. I noticed it
Yes.
was just really, really quiet. So,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah. It sounds beautiful.
so, well, there you go. So we have no definitive answer here, but hey, that's the internet, right?
Right. It just depends. If you're a real rock and roll person, maybe the Bitches Brew would be more appealing to you. Something it's just a little wilder. If you're someone who likes to listen to music to have a calming, cozy effect, Kind of Blue would be a great way to start. There's
Excellent
just
point.
you can go do both ways. It wouldn't matter, and there's really not a wrong answer. They're both
True.
great albums. I tend to listen to Kind of Blue more often now lately because that one step just came out. I've been playing that version of Bitches Brew a lot,
Yeah,
and it sounds amazing. So you can't go wrong with either album, and I really enjoy both. And the lineups of star power on both of them are unbelievable.
true, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I lost my train of thought again. God, I'm sorry. I got no, you're sick and I got no sleep last night. It's like,
we're in bad shape, but
yeah, Pam ordered some Amazon stuff that showed up at 5 in the morning and it set the dogs off. So
um,
they're
that'll
at
do
the
it.
door ready to attack. And I'm just like, oh, so well,
Yeah, my
let's
dog
wind.
lets me know everything that
Yeah,
goes on as well.
they do. Well, just for the sake of the video, let's wind this one up here. And thanks again for joining me, Melinda. And you've got some fun stuff coming up in the future. Anything you want to tell our people that you've got coming up in the future that they should keep their eyes peeled for?
I'm going to be doing some equipment reviews, some pretty
Yay.
exciting. Yep, I've got some cool stuff coming up with equipment. So I'm
Okay.
excited to talk about that. And I am on the hunt for the perfect, for me, uh, an amp upgrade. And
Got
so
it.
I am on that hunt, and I'm going to be talking about an amp really soon. And hopefully, review more amps and find the one that's there's a lot of great amps out there, just the one that fits is best for me. So I'm looking forward to doing that and talking about things like that, as well as I always will talk about vinyl records as well. So
Got it. Well, we'll send everybody your way when the next thing comes up. And
thank,
thanks again.
thank you.